I'm talking to a muted microphone. Hello, hello. Let's try that again. You know what? Let's try that again. Hello, hello. Took a while for me to load in, didn't it? Anyhow, there you go. Hello, big up to him. Big up to Rosa as well, already in chat. 100 plus, they still conceded. It's fucking dead. Hey, you know. Hey, you can never have a bad weekend if you hate a lot of big clubs, because you can enjoy watching them lose. And if you have a second team, Man City and Bruges, it's very rare for both to lose in the same weekend. Can't have a bad day, you know. Can't have a bad day. I'm watching Arsenal against Tottenham. Yeah. That game can go however it wants. Arteta against Frank, you know. Well, Frank is a better manager, but, I mean, Arsenal played for the player. There's a much, much better team. Anyhow, that has nothing to do with anything. Because we are here for the Man City against Newcastle. Forget Man City against Newcastle, actually, for just a moment. I want to take you guys through every single away game Man City has played so far. Wolves, Premier League only. Wolves, 4-0. That is one away win. Brighton, 2-1. That is one away loss. Brentford, 1-0. That is, well, we won 1-0. That is 2 away wins. We lost against Aston Villa away, and we have lost against Newcastle away. We drew Arsenal away. So of our away games so far, we have won 2, drawn 1, lost 3. That's not normal. That is not healthy. Now you can say, yes, you can say Arsenal away, probably one of the toughest games of the season. Not played at Anfield yet, by the way. We'll probably lose there. Villa Park, difficult place to play. St. James Park, sure. We have difficult places to play, and we've lost at difficult places to play. We're 12 games into the season. 12. We have lost 4 of our games already. 1 in every 4 Man City games is a loss. Again, Premier League only. That is not healthy. That is not healthy. Most of our losses are away. 3 times away. St. James Park, Villa Park, and the Annex. One's at home against Tottenham. With away form of this quality, you don't win anything. Away form of this quality, you don't win a title. We have lost at Villa Park. We have lost at the Annex. I guess they call it the American Express now. And we have lost at St. James's Park. We're 12 games into the season. One of these games? Sure. You can lose at Villa Park. You can lose at St. James's Park. These things can happen. But all of them? By the way, Brighton away is not exactly one of the top games for me to be scared of. So you can lose some of these games. Absolutely. But you can't lose all of them. Because here's the thing. People say you can't ask for perfection. Well, we're losing every big away game. So even the smallest, minute improvement that is nowhere close to perfection would make a world of difference. Had we won against Newcastle, 1, we of course avoid defeat again. 2, we would be so much closer to Arsenal. We're not asking for perfection here. We are just so far from perfection that any small improvement seems like asking for perfection. This is not good enough. This is not how you win a title. With that said, let's look through the players. Donnarumma. Big Don. You know what? 2-1 truly flatters. And the reason is because of Donnarumma. There were 2 very good chances for Woltemade. Donnarumma saved them both. There was a chance from Harvey Barnes that he missed, but he was offside, so it doesn't matter. Donnarumma, Footmob doesn't rate him because Footmob only cares about the goals. But we were getting carried by Donnarumma, I can't lie. Donnarumma was keeping us straight. This team depends on individual brilliance. Donnarumma, Haaland, Doku. Absolutely. And it was brilliance. It was brilliance from Donnarumma. Take up Rosa. Take up Thiel as well. We would have lost Nasty without Donnarumma, you're right. That could have been 4-1. That could have been 4-0. Our goal was pretty lucky, if I'm being honest, but we did score it. That could have been 4-1. Donnarumma had to do mad work. Donnarumma had to carry us through that game. Donnarumma kept us in that game. The first half, we should have been down 2 goals. Donnarumma made 2 very good saves in the first half alone. Should have been down 2 goals. Rosa gives an 8 out of 10 here. Because he could have done better on the second goal. I agree. On the second goal, Donnarumma could have done better. But here's the thing. When a goalkeeper is peppered constantly, over and over and over, they're gonna make a mistake. A goalkeeper cannot make no mistakes for 90 minutes long if they keep getting peppered. Did Donnarumma make a mistake? Yes. But it's impossible not to make a mistake when you keep being put into these situations for 90 minutes straight. So, yeah, he made a mistake. I think he could have done much better on that second goal, because if you look back at the goal, yeah, so Gvardiol clears it haphazardly. It comes back into the box. Donnarumma walks into his own net. Donnarumma should be punching that ball away, as he has done many a times this season. But Donnarumma, brief moment of, I don't know what you call it, brief moment of stupidity, of stress, of a loss of focus, whatever it is. Does not punch the ball away. Walks into his own net. Puts himself into a position where he can't save any attempt. And an attempt is made. And it just rolls into the back of our net. Well, it doesn't roll. It flies into the back of our net. So did Donnarumma make a mistake? Yes. But can you blame him? Look at the amount of saves he had to make. Look at the save he made against Woltemade. You keep putting a goalkeeper in this situation. What can they do? It's not Courtois. It's not Buffon. Courtois and Buffon, by the way, when we talk about Thibaut Courtois, Manuel Neuer, Buffon, when they have their big performances in the Champions League final and World Cup final, they're in their late 20s, early 30s already. I think Courtois was 30 years old in his Champions League final performance. When we talk about these great performances of these top goalkeepers, I think Buffon was already 30 in his World Cup final. These are older goalkeepers. Donnarumma is 26. Goalkeepers tend to reach their prime in their 30s. That is a fact, by the way. Don't argue that with me. That is simply a fact. Because the goalkeeper position relies much more on experience and much less on athleticism and other positions. This is a very young goalkeeper, if you put it in goalkeeper terms. So it's impossible for goalkeepers of this age. It simply is impossible of a goalkeeper of 26 to survive 90 minutes straight of getting peppered. It really is. And that's what happened. So I'll give Donnarumma an 8.5. I do agree, he did make a mistake. But come on. Can you blame him? When you keep exposing your goalkeeper, unless you have prime Courtois, prime Neuer, or prime Buffon, you're conceding. It's that simple. Unless you have one of those three goalkeepers in their prime, each of their prime already past the age of 30. Donnarumma is 26. Unless you have that, you are losing that game. It's that simple, honestly. The defense and midfield, non-existent, I agree. I'll talk about it more in depth when I get to the players, but I agree completely, Theo. Passing out from the back, why didn't they just clear the ball? To be fair, that's not completely true. Arsenal is 2-0 up, by the way. We did pass out of the back a lot, but then we just started clearing, and we couldn't get out of our own half. It seems like no matter what we did, we couldn't get out of our own half. And the reason was very simple. We were out-muscled in midfield. We were out-skilled in midfield. Our defense was getting exposed, and our attack was everyone was having a bad game. Arsenal 2-0 because of Eze. Pep was head loss. Yeah, Pep's been losing his head for a while though. Hope the City team are watching Arsenal win. They probably are, unfortunately for us. But anyhow, Donnarumma, I give an 8.5. Yeah, could have done better with that second goal, but come on now. O'Reilly. He created one chance. Not a big chance, though. I mean, 2 defensive contributions. I'm just quickly skimming through the statistics here for O'Reilly. He did win the majority of his duels, but I like to just sometimes look through the statistics of certain players just to see where are they at. And to refresh my mind as well of the game, but O'Reilly, he was invisible, in my opinion, that game. O'Reilly was just... He was forced to go forward and defend, which he usually does, whilst the midfield wasn't working. So, okay, you go forward, midfield covers for you. You defend, midfield goes forward. But midfield isn't working. So now you're going forward, midfield isn't covering you. You go back, midfield isn't going forward. So you're kind of put between a rock and a hard place. Of, I can't impact this game on my own, but I have to do this. Still, that's not an excuse. You have to make something of the game. And O'Reilly didn't. Did not cross particularly well, did not defend particularly well when he was in one-on-ones. It's like a completely different player from the player that played against Liverpool. You remember the Liverpool game? Absolutely locked up Salah. Like a completely different player here, O'Reilly. Completely different. O'Reilly was invisible. Yeah, created one cutback for Haaland. What else did he do? 5 out of 10 in my opinion. Yeah, O'Reilly. You know what thing is with O'Reilly? He's a good player. He's better than Rico Lewis. Can get a goal once in a while. But he's not that top level player quite yet. He's getting there and he will be, but he's not that quite yet. So when all our top players underperform, sometimes he will bring the goal. Sometimes he will be the difference maker. But sometimes he'll disappear from a game. And that's what he did today. Offensively, not good enough. Attacking, not good enough. Possession-wise, I mean, let's not even talk about that. What even was the point of us having the ball most of the times? Because we did nothing with it. it was a pointless affair, us having the ball. I mean, it most usually is. This is the thing with Man City and possession. We don't choose the ball. Most of the time, that ball is wasted. Most of the time, we just have it. Okay, congratulations, you have it. What are you gonna do? We were hoofing the ball up the pitch, trying to get long throws. Why not cross a ball? Why not cross a ball? Why not put a ball in between the lines? Why not try to create something? Why not take someone on? Why do you have to resort to long throws? You're gonna tell me our players are that bad, that the only thing we've gotten out Arsenal is a long throw. Okay. Okay. O'Reilly very much so disappointed me. Anyone asking for help in November from other teams against Arsenal just shows you the problem. We're not ready yet. Still need players out the door and new players in. Well, here's the thing though. 400 million pounds spent. How can we not be ready? I'm not saying that we are ready, but how can we not be ready after that investment? This is what happens when you bring in Savio instead of Olise. Because remember, Man City decided not to make a bid for Olise after they decided to integrate Savio. This is what happens when you don't buy anyone. Except for the washed Gundogan. This is what happens when you stand around, watch around. This is what happens. But also, are our players this bad? Is Marmoush that bad of a player that he needs to be on the bench until the 86th minute? 86 minutes. Until then, he was on the bench. Is he that bad? I don't believe so. Kustanov was on the bench. Oh, he's too injured. Then why is he on the bench? You've seen Liverpool rely on kids. Oh, but you can't rely on kids. Why not? Liverpool has done it. If your injury situation is that bad, pull out a kid. Just do something. Don't put players on the bench if you're never going to use them. That's just a waste of time. Why did we sign Marmoush? As the club brought players in that clearly were a risk anyway, the board set us back massively, and that's why it's a huge task now. Yeah, why do we have him? Why is he on the bench until the 86th minute? Why? 27 goals on the bench until the 86th minute. You're losing a game. 27 goals are on the bench. You bring it on in the 86th minute. It's inexplicable. It truly is. These type of decisions truly are inexplicable. Right then, centre backs. Guardiola and Diaz. I'm gonna look at them as a pair, as always. I look at my centre back pairings as a duo. Almost all of the time. Guardiola was a bit erratic with his passing sometimes. Diaz wasn't really there most of the game, but you know what? Diaz was handling the back line. Everyone else was missing, but Diaz was at least handling stuff. When Newcastle went down the middle, Diaz's body was there. Diaz was in the box trying to clear stuff, trying to punch or kick away balls, trying to make challenges. Diaz was there. He was putting his body between the nets. Guardiola was a bit absent, I think, defensively. His passing in the first half was also very sloppy. But overall, I think it wasn't too bad from Diaz and Guardiola. I think Diaz and Guardiola were not the major problems. Major problems was our wings getting cut through and then balls coming down the middle. And our midfield also just being devoured. But definitely, this centre-back pairing could have definitely done better, if you ask me. I think our centre-backs Yeah, you get exposed, yeah. You get exposed, true. You got exposed this game. But still, look at the amount of chances Brentford got. Barnes, where he put it wide. Barnes on the edge of the area. Why is nobody on him? Barnes, his goal. How did he create freedom for himself? Woltemade, his 2 chances. How do these chances come forth? Sure, you get exposed as a back forward, but you still need to do your job. You can't just say, oh, we got exposed, we can't do anything. Too bad. You can't do that. So, again, it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Another embarrassing season for City, allowing these clowns to win the league. I'll talk about that in a second. I wish journalists would grill Pep on that because it baffles me each week. Hey, bro, people can't grill Pep though, because then they'll lose their stadium ticket. What do you call it? Not stadium, like their... You know, the tickets to go behind the scenes and stuff. They'll lose that. They will lose their privileges as a journalist. If they criticize Pep, they're no longer allowed inside the club. That's the thing. That's what they won't. They won't. Guardiola was okay. I think 7 out of 10 is a bit high for Guardiola, to be honest. I'll give a 7 out of 10 to Guardiola and Diaz as a pairing. That's what I'll do. Guardiola can be sloppy at times. He can be. Especially when he's put under a lot of pressure. He can be sloppy. Fuck Spurs. Hey, my thoughts exactly. Diaz didn't do much either. 6 out of 10. Well, that's just not gender, though. I mean, that's just not gender, because you're giving Guardiola high. Diaz did a lot more than Guardiola that game. Well, Guardiola did a lot of forward passing. Diaz was actually handling the box. Diaz was clearing balls. Diaz was putting his body on the line. Diaz was delaying counters. So that's just an agenda. That's just an agenda. Be honest, none of the signings, bar Husnov and Marmoush, are good enough for City. We fought against physical teams. Yeah. I think Gonzalez is good enough, and I'll talk about Gonzalez, of course, when we get to the midfield, but yeah. Guardiola has been shaky this season, to be honest. I think he's had shaky games. I don't think he's been shaky overall, but yeah. Guardiola has had a lot of poor passing, and when Guardiola is put under pressure, you can tell he is pressured. He's also been put left, right, center. He's been put everywhere this season. I think with Guardiola, it's just put Guardiola and Diaz and Husnov together in a back three and they cook. Guardiola and O'Reilly together cook. But when O'Reilly has a bad game or something goes wrong in the back three and Guardiola gets put under pressure, then the mistakes happen. Woltemade had more chances than Haaland. That tells you everything. Is this the start of Haaland's poor form? I do not think so. I think he played one poor game and he's gonna score again in the next game. I don't think there will be a poor form of Erling Haaland this season. So no, I do not think so. Anyhow. It's not an agenda. Guardiola is better. Is the better centre back than Diaz. Diaz is so slow on counter-attacks too. Sure, but I'm not even going to argue that. What about this game? I'm not even going to argue that. What about this game, Rosa? Because what did Guardiola do this game? Diaz slows down counters from Newcastle. Diaz puts his body in the box. Diaz makes sure to win the ball up the pitch. Where was Guardiola in all of this? Guardiola was on Woltemade when Woltemade got that chance. You know the chance in the first half, Woltemade header, brilliant save Donnarumma. Guardiola was on Woltemade. So, sure. I'll give you that. Guardiola can be the better player. But what about this game? Moving on. Nunez. This is why you need a proper right back. And Nunez did not even play particularly poorly. But here's the thing, yeah. Nunez played okay. But sometimes you need more than okay. When the entire back three is playing poorly, sometimes you need one of those defenders to beat the difference. You know how often Kyle Walker bailed us out? Diaz playing poorly, Stones playing poorly, Laporte playing poorly, Cancelo not defending. How often in those situations has Kyle Walker bailed us out? We don't need a good right back. We need a world-class right back. That is the difference. So Nunez played okay this game. But he can't bail us out. There are the games where Diaz can bail you out. There are the games where Virgil can bail you out. Nunez will not bail you out. That is the difference. But if you look at just this game, Nunez was not at fault for just this game. He played okay, defended well, made a few decent crosses. For the rest, I don't think Nunez was much of anything in the game, really. I don't think we'll ever win another title under Guardiola. Don't blame you for saying that. I do not blame you for saying that, because, I mean, we're not moving like a title-winning side. Just factually, we are not moving like a title-winning side. This many losses at this point of the season. It's not a title-winning team. At the moment, this is not a title-winning team, is it? It's just that simple. Because Pep's system is one-dimensional. Attack equals Haaland, midfield equals Rodri, defense equals Donnarumma. That's been pretty much this season, isn't it? That's been this season, and Gonzalez has stepped up this season, but Gonzalez is no Rodri. There's no shame in that, but Gonzalez is no Rodri, is he now? Right then. Nunez actually made a really good challenge out of the box and had some good crosses. 7 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give Nunez a 7 out of 10. Again, Nunez was okay. But I feel like this is where a proper right back, a proper elite right back, can sometimes beat the difference, can sometimes be the world-class performance that bails you out in a game you should not win. In a game you should not win, sometimes it can beat the difference. That proper world-class right back. And I don't blame Nunez for this game, but this is why I want that proper right back. This is why I want that Kyle Walker type of player. Gonzalez, 9 out of 10. Well, Gonzalez. Let's go over to him. I guess Rosa decides who I talk about now. Let's go over to Gonzalez then. He is the only midfielder today that looked like he was up for the game. When he was getting pressed, he made some mistakes in the first half, but when he was getting pressed for the most part, he played through it. He was winning his tackles. He was winning his challenges. He was getting in, dug in. He was contributing defensively. Was dispossessed once, but okay. He was getting balls into the final third. He was doing it all. He was doing it all, and this was an incredible game by Gonzalez. No way, no two ways about it. Attacking, defending, holder play. He was the only midfielder that looked up for this game. The only one. Foden, Silva, they were missing. They were honestly missing, Foden and Silva. But Gonzalez, he was there getting stuck in. He was fighting for the ball. He was getting us up the pitch. But the problem is, Gonzalez alone cannot handle a midfield. If you put Gonzalez and Marmoush in there, Marmoush, he's got energy. He has work rate. Marmoush will run. You've got a runner. You have Gonzalez. Then you drop Foden deeper. Let Foden do the distribution from deep. Let Foden do the ball retention. Now you've got a midfield there. That's not what we got. That is not what we got. What we got was Gonzalez holding us up. We got... I mean, that's it. That's it for the midfield. We got Gonzalez holding us up, and the rest doing nothing in midfield. That's not good enough. Gonzalez was good enough. Gonzalez was good enough. The rest was not good enough. At this point, move Doku to the right wing, play Marmoush on the left wing, and Cherki in the 10. I'll get to that in a moment. I see the logic, but I disagree. Yeah, Foden. Well, let's finish up on Gonzalez. This is a 9 out of 10 performance for Gonzalez, in my opinion. If Man City won this game, people would praise Gonzalez very highly. Because he was getting the balls forward, he was winning the balls back in midfield, he was holding us up. If the rest of our midfield was playing to the level that they should and that they can, Gonzalez would have had a lot of praise. He got a ball so good to Doku as well. He received a ball, took it on a turn, got it to Doku, so silky. And he's doing that in midfield every game right now. He played so good. It's such a shame for Gonzalez as an individual that he played such a good game and the rest of the midfield was nowhere near. Foden. He looked lost. He looked bullied. He looked outdone. He had a few moments where he got into positions. And that is fair. Get yourself into positions. That is good work. Get yourself there. But then pulling the trigger, that's something else. 2 chances missed by Foden. Then you look at... If you look at the ball that Foden had, he passed it to the right, got it back, missed. You know what I mean? If Foden there passed the ball through to Haaland, Haaland is through one-on-one, Haaland scored. That is the moment where Foden should have passed through to Haaland. He didn't do that. He did not do that. And that is poor decision making. Poor decision making by the 10. Experienced 10. Who then, to top it off, goes on and has a very poor finishing technique when he gets the ball and has a chance to remedy his poor decision making by scoring a goal. Misses. If I'm Gonzalez, I'm looking around right now, and I was going to talk about Bernardo in a second. If I'm Gonzalez, I'm looking around right now and I'm thinking, what the fuck did I just do here? Because I just ran, and ran, and ran, and ran, and ran. And what did the others around me do? What did Foden do? What did Silva do? I dominated this midfield, and somehow Newcastle had more presence in the midfield. How? If I'm Gonzalez, I'm feeling sorry for myself. Honestly, I don't understand Bernardo's role in this team. Bernardo's role in this team is very simple. When you're under pressure, give the ball to Bernardo. It's that simple. Under pressure, give the ball to Bernardo, you're out of pressure. But the problem is, Bernardo wasn't doing that this game. And he also coaches Nunez a little bit. Bernardo has good games and he has bad games. This is the hallmark of a player who is not quite finished yet, but he's moving towards finished. Sometimes you see what he used to be. Sometimes you see what you saw today. He will have games where he just absolutely runs circles around midfield. There's no doubt about that. But he is getting old, and those games become increasingly few. And the games where he just disappears become increasingly many. Haaland should have gone around the goalkeeper. He had time and massive space. Sure. But what do we go from there, though? Sure, Haaland had a decent half chance after 5 minutes, I believe, into the game. He had one really good chance that he should have scored. Are we complaining about Haaland because of that? If Haaland got the ball from Foden, what I talked about earlier, where Haaland was running ahead, throwing at the ball, he passed it to Sherky. If he had passed it to Haaland, Haaland is in, he's 1-on-1, he scores. So yeah, he's missed chances, but listen, Haaland is part of the fault in this game. But he's not the only fault. He's not the biggest fault. He can do the job if he gets the ball into the right positions. And if he can't do the job, maybe someone else should once in a while. Man City has yet to win a game where Haaland has not scored. In fact, Man City has lost every single game this season that Haaland has not scored. Every single... I mean, get that through your head. Every single game that Haaland has not scored, Man City has lost. Our wingers are so dead. What happened to Sherky? One good game is all he gives, I guess. Let's go over to that. Sherky. You know what? Switch line Sherky. He should have had an assist to Foden. And that would have immediately alleviated all of stuff. Here's the thing with Sherky, and it's not an excuse. Sherky played poorly. Let's get that right. But you have played somewhat good on the ball. You have played somewhat good off the ball. Sherky is the former. You need the latter to bring the ball to Sherky in a position where Sherky can run at the defense, where Sherky can dribble, shoot, pass, cross, these sorts of things. Sherky was not in that position a lot. He simply was not. You know what it is, yeah? You know what it is? Sherky is going to give you good performances if you get him the ball. Same with Haaland. You get Haaland the ball in front of goal, he's gonna score. You get Sherky the ball in those half spaces and out wide and allow him to roam, and you're gonna get a good performance. I don't think Sherky was terrible, and the same is true for Doku. I think Doku was okay, I think Sherky was okay. But neither had a chance to show themselves at all. Sherky had a poorer game than Doku. I'll give Sherky a 6 out of 10. And I'll give Doku 7 out of 10. But neither of them were the fault for why we lost. You can say creativity is dead, but why is creativity dead? Well, creativity is gone, it's dead, it's non-existent. Because players like Sherky cannot receive the ball. It's that simple. But when these creative players do not get enough of the ball, creativity is going to be dead. So creativity dead? Yes. But I don't blame the wingers particularly for that. I think they both played okay. Sherky a bit of a stinker. Call it a 6 out of 10. Call Doku a 7 out of 10 performance. But they were not the main issues. The main issues were Foden and Silva. I give Foden a 5 out of 10 because at least he got himself into positions. Silva, a 3 out of 10. He was absolutely non-present. Absolutely non-present. Sherky is not a winger. He should be competing with Foden for the 10. I disagree. He's just fine. He's just fine on the wing. But if he's not going to get the ball, if he's not going to be able to play, yeah, it's going to be useless. City used to have goal scorers all over the pitch. Now we only have Haaland. That's a massive problem. Agreed. Completely agreed. We don't have goal scorers outside of Haaland at the moment. Arsenal 3-0. It's absolutely ridiculous how we lost to Spurs at home. I told y'all, we were spamming Spurs when Aït-Nouri was on the pitch. Then Pep made a terrible decision to bring on Ake. And it all went astray there when Pep brought on Ake. And that loss, that was really this is how the season is going to be type of game. Anyhow, Sherky 5, Doku 6, I think. Yeah. Okay, Haaland then. Let's talk about Haaland. Because, listen here, yeah. Haaland missed one big chance. The cutback from O'Reilly, he should have scored. But you're allowed to miss one big chance once in a while. Once in a while, 19 non-penalty goals in November. You are allowed to miss one big chance once in a while. That's the problem. That was the only big chance he got. Should have gone around the goalkeeper, sure. But that's not that easy. It was right at the start of the game. Should you have done that? Yes. Would a more focused Haaland have done that? Yes. But he was not the ultimate problem. If Foden gave him the ball, yeah, if we had one through ball to Haaland, if we had one good cross to Haaland, he would have probably scored. His header was a bit weak. Okay, give him a second one. We had not enough chances for Haaland. In fact, if I look at statistics right now for Erling Haaland, he had an expected XG, he had an XG of 1.54, really. A blocked shot, but that was never going in. Okay, but 65 of that is a single shot. Okay, fair. What? Okay, no, he did not have... Okay, this is just stupid. Haaland had an XG of 1.54, but that includes the chance at the start of the game, which, I mean, that's just ridiculous. So, realistically speaking, Haaland had an XG of 0.85. Not even a goal. Get him a through ball, he scores. Get him a proper cross, he scores. If I just went through all of Haaland's chances, the header that he didn't score was only worth 0.8 XG. These are not chances. This is not how you beat these players. It simply isn't. It simply is not. Red card for the GOAT Anthony. Aye. Even Anthony the GOAT is struggling today. But this weekend. Haaland had a poor game, but I can't actually criticize him too much. Since we have not got a single player with 2 league goals other than him, and it's almost December. Exactly. How are you gonna sit here blaming Haaland when we've had... Well, not you, but like, how are people gonna sit here blaming Haaland? I don't even think at that point of a game, to be honest. But when we've had one player with 2 goals or more in the league, and that's Haaland. It's ridiculous. It's poor. It's pathetic. That's what it is. Haaland, yeah, should have scored at least one of his chances. He should have scored. He had a poor game. Don't get me wrong. Once in a while, you can have a poor game. A better Man City side still finds Haaland and still gets Haaland to score. A better Man City side maybe scores without Haaland. Maybe if Marmoush was on the pitch instead of Savio, he scored that volley. I'm just saying that this is I mean, it's annoying, but he's just the scapegoat. That's what it is. Haaland is the scapegoat because we have no world-class players other than Haaland at the moment. Foden, not world-class. Donnarumma is world-class. But Rodri is injured, so he's the scapegoat. That's the problem. Right then. I've talked about the players. Let's talk about the manager. I'll give Haaland a 6 out of... I'll give Haaland a 5.5 out of 10. 5.5 because he was still making the runs and the impact, but he did not finish his chances. Pep Guardiola. Every single game this season in the Premier League, I'm not talking Champions League, in the Premier League, where we have dropped points, it's down to Pep. First game where we have dropped points. Tottenham. We are dominating the game. 20 minutes in, we are dominating the game. Aït-Nouri gets injured. You can bring on O'Reilly. Keep the same system that is dominating the game. Or you can bring on Ake. Completely upend the entire system. What does Pep do? He brings on Ake. Completely changes the system. We were dominating the game, dominating the chances. We had everything. The entire system, poof, upended. You put in Ake. Big mistake. A very, very big mistake that cost us the game. We lost the game because of that mistake. The first points lost in the Premier League was down to an immense mistake from Pep. Then you go forward to the game against Brighton. Why are we playing an injured Aït-Nouri? We know he's injured, why is he playing? Why is an injured left back playing? It's because Pep saw how everything went to hell in the game against Tottenham when Aït-Nouri came off. Play O'Reilly. It was so obvious to anyone to just play O'Reilly when Aït-Nouri went off. Anyone but Pep. It's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. It really is. These decisions. Gusenov, who's never played left-sided centre-back, 21 years old. Left-sided centre-back with an injured left-back to help him. A midfield that was just not up to the occasion, and so bad. Like, it's so comically bad. You just want to close your eyes and say, this is not real, but it is. The first two games, Man City dropped points this season on Pep. Fast forward to Arsenal away. It's a tough away game, true. But it doesn't matter. We are winning the game. Manage the game out. We are winning the game. 1-0. It's a narrow lead. How do you win this game? You take off your goal scorer and Erling Haaland. You take off Foden, who's playing a good game. And you take off Doku, who's actually creating a lot this game. We were winning 1-0. If we had scored a second goal against Arsenal, we would have won the game. Pep took off every single attacker. Every single one. That is 3 games where we've dropped points in the Premier League, all 3 on Pep. Now you go forwards to the Aston Villa game. Villa Park. Okay, starting 11, not good enough. Okay, whatever. It happens. Sometimes you want to rotate, it happens. So what are the substitutions? Incredibly effective. Substitutes come on, we're immediately dominating the game. Here's the problem. They only come on in the 80th minute. Pep Guardiola watched a game of football for 80 minutes, go past him, did not change it. For 80 minutes, he did not change it. Just watch the game go by him. Then we're dominating the last 10 minutes of that game. Great, it's too late now. All games so far in the league where we have dropped points, it's on Pep. This game included, because the players fucked it. Pep Guardiola objectively pulled out the correct lineup. This was the correct lineup. But that doesn't mean you've gotten the game right. The players fucked the game, and Pep allowed it to happen. Pep was watching a car crash unfold. Didn't care. Not until the 86 minutes when he brought on Marmoush. The pressing shape of Newcastle, so poor. You look back on the first 20 minutes of Newcastle. Any time they pressed, there was a huge pocket in the half space. Huge pockets in the half spaces every time they pressed. That is deadly when you have players like Shetty there. Pep did not change anything to exploit that. Eddie Howe, within 20 minutes, spoke to his team, got them to sit back a bit more, changed the pressing shape, and the gaps disappeared. Within 20 minutes, Eddie Howe saw things going wrong, changed it. Pep saw an opportunity, or maybe just didn't see it, didn't do anything about it. Did not do anything about it. Then the game continues, and we are clearly outclassed in midfield. What is the problem? It's a lack of energy, it's a lack of power, it's a lack of being able to fight. We have Omar Marmoush on the bench. He can play the 10, he's happy to do it. He's a runner, he's a duel winner. Omar Marmoush on that pitch would win you duels, he'd give you energy in that midfield. You would be able to drop Foden back, put him next to Gonzalez, retain the ball with those two, and then have Marmoush run, have Gonzalez do the defending. That's what we got. Silva stayed on the pitch until the 77th minute. One substitution in Omar Marmoush could have steadied up our attack by bringing on a new threat. Given our midfield the energy that we needed. Given our midfield the symmetry that we needed. One substitution could have fixed up our defense by allowing Foden to drop deeper, distribute the play, and let Gonzalez focus on the defending. One substitution. It was not made. Until the 87th minute. This is not good game management. People say Pep Guardiola has world-class game management. When? He used to have prime De Bruyne, prime David Silva. Yeah, sure. Games turn around when you have prime, greatest midfielders of all time in your team. Just watch a game. And you don't have to top over the top of all time. It's not gonna turn around. It's not gonna happen on its own. Pep Guardiola does not have Lionel Messi right now. He does not have Busquets, Iniesta, Xavi, Messi, Eto'o. He doesn't have that. Henry doesn't have that right now. He doesn't have De Bruyne, Fernandinho, or let's say De Bruyne, Rodri, Gundogan, Mahrez. I guess at the end of the treble season, Mahrez wasn't really playing. Okay, let's say Bernardo Silva then. Prime Bernardo Silva, not this version. Prime Bernardo Silva. Grealish in his good phase. These were the players who got a goal. Can go get a goal. Oh, Haaland isn't doing it, we'll get a goal. We're playing shit. Oh, no worries, I'll score one from 30 yards. That's the type of players we had. When you have those types of players, shit game management can look like good game management because those players just turned up. This is not game management. Watching a game go wrong and not changing anything until minute 77 when you're already losing 2-1. That is not game management. That is too little too late. And then we look at the substitutions Pep actually made. Pop, Savio. Think with me for a moment. When you make a substitution, why do you make a substitution? Why do you make a substitution? There are 3 reasons why you make a substitution. 3 main reasons. 1. Rotation. Just rotate a player to keep him fit or you give someone game minutes. You do this when you're winning a game. Tactical reasons. Something's going wrong, you make a tactical change. And injury. Those are the 3 main reasons why you make substitutions. When you make a tactical change, Why do you make that change? What is the problem? First of all, when you make a tactical change, what is the problem? Why are you making this tactical change? Okay, Newcastle game. What are the problems? They're getting exposed on the wings. Our fullbacks are getting exposed. Our midfield is getting dominated. Our attack is not linking up properly, not creating a lot of high quality chances, creating a lot of low quality chances, but not a lot of high quality chances. And nobody's finishing the chances that we do get. How do you solve all those issues? Midfield getting overrun, attack not linking up properly, and the fullback areas getting fully exposed. You need to bring energy into midfield. That is first thing you need to do. Energy and a duel winner. You need to make midfield able to retain possession. That's number 2. How do you do that? You bring someone on? No. You bring on Marmoush. Marmoush wins you duels. Marmoush runs. Marmoush is energy. Take off Silva. Marmoush is Silva. But he does Silva's job better. Because he also goes forward. He also shoots. He also creates a threat. That's another issue for fixed. And now you drop Foden a bit deeper. And you allow Foden to link up. And to distribute. And you free up Gonzalez for defending. Now Gonzalez can handle those fullback areas a little bit. And you're less exposed. One change can change everything. Instead, on game Savio, on game Bob. What do these players bring? What changed tactically? Nothing changed. These players don't change the system, they give you a hope. They give you the hope that they can perform better than the players already on the pitch. That is not game management. That is making substitutions like a player on FIFA would make substitutions, not like a professional football manager should make substitutions. It's short-sighted. It's way too late. It's stupid. It's not actually addressing the issues. It's just changing the players. Incredibly poor. Haaland had a poor game, but I actually criticize. But I can't actually. I already read this. My apologies. I agree. Until we get rid of the passengers in the team, we will not win anything. Probably. Pep has to go. Every time we revert back to the slow possession football, we lose. I don't see the point of extending Rodri's contract. We need Anderson and Gibbs White now. You'll see the point once we get to January. Truly, Rodri is still Rodri. Once we get to January, and once you get over that ACL stuff, you will see. You will see. Pep is still a good, but I would love Gibbs White. I would love Gibbs White. He would solve so many issues in this midfield. Pep is still a good manager, but he isn't as great as he used to be. I think that's the bottom line here. Pep is not terrible, but he's not what he used to be. I think that's the bottom line here. I can't believe Foden played 87 minutes even. Not 85, 87. I can't believe it. I think if you dropped Foden deeper, took off Silva, put on Marmoush, you would have fixed so much, I think. But whatever. I can't believe Marmoush was on the bench until the 87th minute. That's what I can't believe. Nothing beats that Madrid game of last season when we were 3-0 down in the first half. Worst game of Pep's life, then losing to Liverpool in the same week. We're not quite that bad, are we? But listen, our home form is fixed. We have won every home game so far. The away form that's nowhere near good enough. That is a major problem that we have. And we look at our wingers right now. Bob, Cherki, Savio, Doku. Give them time. Yeah, I'm willing to give them time. But we don't have time. When you have an Oscar Bob when you have a Savio, when you have a Doku, that's all well and fine. But when we had Leroy Sané, we had Riyad Mahrez, we had David Silva in his prime, and we had Raheem Sterling. Look at the options we had when Sané was here. And Leroy Sané needed time, absolutely. But we had time, because you have those top quality wingers there. Doku needs time, maybe. Savio needs time, maybe. Bob Scherky needs time, maybe. But if all four are here at the same time, we will not have time to give. We don't have time for all these guys. We need to bring in experienced swingers. It's that simple. Imagine Jared Bowen came off that bench. Imagine, 60th minute, Jared Bowen off the bench. You win that game. He's gonna get a goal, he's gonna assist Haaland, he's gonna turn around the game, Man City is gonna press them to death, and you're gonna win the game. That is what proper, elite, experienced players do. That's not what we have. That is not what we have. Our wingers are here to stay. We project players all over the place. We are project players all over the place. Yeah, I get what you mean. We have no hope of winning the title like this. Let me round up on something. Let me round up on some perspective, if you will. Perspective, guys. Perspective, you know what I mean. Let me share my screen here. And I hope you guys can read this, if not skill issue. So, Arsenal is beating Spurs. Let me refresh this. Should have the points. Yeah, Arsenal will be on 29 points. After this game. Man United probably beats Everton, if we're being honest. Arsenal beats Spurs. They are 7 points ahead. Now for the perspective. Chelsea is 1 point ahead. But look at Chelsea's fixtures so far. If you look so far at Chelsea's fixtures from the start of the season. Crystal Palace draw at home. Man City beats Crystal Palace at home. West Ham away. Man City beats West Ham away. Fulham at home. Man City will beat Fulham at home as well. Brentford away. Man City will win that game. Or Man City did win that game. Brighton at home. Man City will win. Liverpool at home. Man City will win. Forest away. That might be tough, but that was just during the Ange era, so we will win. Sunderland at home. We probably win. But let's say a draw. Let's say a draw. Tottenham away. Probably a loss. So then you go Wolves at home, that's a win. Burnley away, that's a win. If you look at all of Chelsea's games right now, this is where perspective is important. Chelsea has won 7 games, drawn 2, lost 3. If Man City had the same fixture list, including where you play, Man City would have won 9, drawn 1, or drawn 2, sorry, lost 1, or maybe drawn 1, lost 2. Let's say win 9, draw 1, lose 2. Man City would be 6 points better. If Chelsea and Man City had different fixture lists, Man City would be 6 points better. That is not an excuse. Don't mistake that for an excuse. But this is where the perspective is important. When you have the easy games at the first half of the season, when you have the fortunate home games, the home games against the tougher teams, when you have the away games against the weaker teams, and you have teams when you have the weaker teams so far, it means you're going to have the tougher games coming up. Here is for some perspective, yeah? Here is for some perspective. Chelsea coming up, play against Arsenal. Oops. One moment. Chelsea coming up will play against Arsenal. If I can fucking find the game. Tough game. Will Chelsea win that? Probably not. Let's say a draw. Let's be very optimistic and let's call it a draw. Leeds away, they win. Bournemouth at the Vitality, that's difficult. Everton, they probably win. Newcastle away. Now they play Aston Villa. Now they play Bournemouth again. City twice. Fulham at Craven Cottage. Now they're getting the difficult games. Now suddenly Crystal Palace away. Okay, West Ham Wolves, Leeds, Burnley, Arsenal again. Villa Park. Newcastle. All these difficult games that are coming up. You look at Man City and Chelsea's fixtures coming up during the same time. Our fixtures are so much easier. And we still play Chelsea twice. Our upcoming fixtures are so much easier. Leeds, Fulham, Sunderland at home. That's 3 wins in a row. Palace, probably a draw. West Ham, Forest, Sunderland away. Let's say 2 wins in a draw. Beat Chelsea, then Brighton, United. Let's say a draw against United, or a loss against United. Then Wolves, lose against Tottenham, draw against Liverpool, Fulham, Newcastle at home, Leeds, Forest, West Ham, Palace at home. Our fixture list coming up is easier. Chelsea look better, but they're not better. They're not better. So Chelsea is going to drop down here. Now let's go through Arsenal. Okay. If we're being optimistic, we'll call this a draw. Okay. We'll call this a draw. We will beat Leeds. We will beat Leeds. We're above Chelsea already. We're only 5 points away. We will beat Fulham. Let's say Arsenal win. And we're going to just the halfway point. Arsenal never win at Villa Park. Let's call it a draw. And City win. Suddenly the points difference is 3 points. With 1, 2, 3, 4 games until the halfway point. I'm not saying that's happening. I am not saying that's happening. But I am saying that's possible. That is very doable. That is very likely. But the title race is not done. It's not happened yet. The title race, here's the thing, yeah. You don't have a title race before January. Title race starts in January. The season before January is qualifiers. You have World Cup qualifiers, and then you have the World Cup tournament. From August to December, you are playing your qualifiers. We're looking to qualify for the title race. And then from January onward, you can talk about a title race. We are not out of this title race yet. If you just get these fixtures going your way, again, these are very... I'm not projecting insane results. I'm projecting Arsenal to draw at the same they've lost the past 4 games at. And I'm predicting them to draw a big derby against Chelsea. And I'm predicting us to win games against bottom half of the table teams. This is feasible. This is feasible. But we just have to do it. It's a poor position to be in, but we just have to do it. Don't tell me Arsenal won't win the title. City, as sure as hell, won't losing every 4th game. That's not what we were saying last year. At this point last year, we had gone 1 game in 13. At this point last year, we had won 1 game in 13. Completely different. What if Arsenal wins all their games till the end of the season? Won't. What if Man City wins all the games until the end of next season? If Man City wins all games from now until the end of the season, beat Arsenal at home, we're already within 4 points. Then Arsenal has 2 draws. Then we win the league. But nobody is winning all the games until the end of the season. Out away form is shit, I agree. But if you look at our teams away, played different sides, but that's the problem. Can't use that as an excuse. You need to get these away games over the line. 16 points dropped already. Ay. Chelsea are still winning their games, even playing like shit. I'm not talking about playing like shit, I'm talking about who they're playing. They have all their difficult games in 1 run. December is full of difficult games for Chelsea. Don't be surprised if by the end of December they're 4th or 5th. Fuck these City players. That's scope. It isn't scope though. We didn't lose our chance though yesterday. If we beat Arsenal, because right now we are 7 points behind. If we beat Arsenal at the Etihad, we're within 4 points. You're telling me that over the course of a full season, or over the course of half a season, Man City can't be better than Arsenal over 4 points? It ain't scope. It ain't scope. Explain why it's scope, Rosa. Teal. Explain why it's scope. I'm not saying it's happening. I'm saying we're shit right now. I am admitting that. We are shit right now. It's not scope. But I'm saying we're not done yet. We're very close to being done, but we're not done yet. Title race is over. City bottled their last chance yesterday. But we didn't. We didn't though. Now we get an easy run of games. Go win 12 games in a row. Go win 15 games in a row. Am I saying we're gonna do it? No. Probably not. But I'm saying we have to. And I'm saying if we do that now, there's still a chance. I'm not saying we will. I will not explain. It's still cope. Now hug that Blaha. It will be very cute. Okay. I'll entertain you. Happy? There you go. I'll entertain you. But yeah. It's not good enough. The away form is not good enough. But if we turn it around, it's now. I'd say that this is our last chance until December. And if we have to win every game until December. If we are within 7 points of Arsenal at January 1st, there's a chance. A small chance, but there's a chance. If we are not within 7 points of Arsenal by January 1st, we're done. It's that simple for me. If it's 8 points or more by January the 1st, we are not winning the title. So be within 8 points. That's what I'd say. And I'll leave it there. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm quickly looking. That's why I can redirect to. But like and subscribe if you haven't already. But just to put into context, we are shit. We are not good enough. This is true. We should be winning game. We are not. We should be doing better. We are not. All of this is true. Our players are not performing. Haaland is a stinker. All of this is true. All of this is valid. Are we winning the title? Most likely not. No, I agree. I agree. Still, I agree. But I'm saying, at this point last season, we had gone 1 win in 13. We are not that bad. There's still a chance. It's very small, but there's still a chance. We now have an easy run of games coming up. Win all the games until January 1st. And then, look where we are at. And then we can say, are we there, are we not there? Can we win all the games until January 1st? Probably not. But, it's what we have to do. It's the only way we're getting a title. If we win every game until then. So, I guess it's now on to see, will we or will we not? I agree with you too. I agree with you. Listen, we're not the same team of old. But we still aren't dead yet. We haven't done 1 win in 13. We did last season at this point. We're not that bad. Last season we went out of the title by November. Now, let's see in January if it's still a title race or not. But I'm not happy with the way we played. So I'll leave it there. Like, subscribe, do all of that. Alfred, you know what? Let's redirect this stream. Alfred, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.